by Riverside.
What is up, everybody? This is Stumped for Answers. Special episode. Got some upgrades. We got some mics. Got some headphones. Vase, looking good there. We wanted to talk about Pakistan versus England. Heartbreaking loss on Pakistan's side. But Vase, how are you? How's everything?
Zayd, I'm doing great, man. As you iterated, heartbreaking loss. But I'm glad we upgraded, man. We got the mics, we got the headphones. I got 3 extra lights, which are shining bright in my eye right now. But
Man, you're looking
alhamdulillah,
good.
man, it's going well. Thank you, brother. And I was speaking to Shabraz, and after the heartbreaking loss, I said, listen, man, win or lose, alhamdulillah, it's the holy month of Ramadan, man. Keep the spirits high. These things happen.
Yeah, back the boys. Win or lose. I mean, we haven't made the next stage in 3 tournaments back to back. So at least we made the Super 8 this time, right? So go ahead.
I was going to say, because I specifically wrote this down, but I think we'll delve into it when we get to that point. Happy we made the Super 8, but nothing to be proud about. And I think we'll go do a deep dive into this. So let's get to it, man.
Sure. So Vase, last time we spoke, Pakistan versus New Zealand, we did a little preview. And what happens? The game gets rained out. We're all bummed. And I think that was the worst thing that could happen for Pakistan, right? That first Super 8 game against a quality team. You played only one quality team in the group stage. So that game against New Zealand, I think, was very important for Pakistan to help them get their feet wet, and have a good test against a quality team like New Zealand. So the rain out happens 1 point each, right? And then basically the next 2 games become must-win games for Pakistan. And then we play against England, and England hasn't played well, I think, throughout the entire group stage. And then they start getting hot against Pakistan. Their batting hadn't clicked. Their bowling was subpar, I thought, against some of the lower teams. But Vase, let's talk about the toss and the playing 11. So Pakistan, did they win the toss?
Bro, the one good thing about Salman Ali Agha and being captain, Zayd, is he has like a 75% chance to win the toss.
Yeah, so they win the toss and they choose to bat first. And this is not the Colombo ground. This is Pakistan's first game in Kandy, the Pala-Kelly ground. So they aren't familiar with the conditions because they haven't played there in the tournament yet. England played their game against Sri Lanka on the same ground, so they were already accustomed to the conditions. And England has a very good record on this ground before the tournament. I was reading Cricinfo, and the headline was, "This is England's home away from home in Sri Lanka." So Pakistan win the toss. They bat first. Let's talk about the playing 11. Some surprises there. Vase, you guessed the playing 11 out of 11. You had the prediction on our Instagram page. So talk us through what was going through your mind that led you to pick the right playing 11 for this game.
Zayd, so one thing about head coach Mike Hesson is whenever he has any presser or interview, for some reason I get inclined to watch it, right? So I've been watching his press conferences now probably for 6 months. So I'm not saying I know exactly what he's thinking, but I mean, to an extent, I do know what he may be inclined to do. And I knew that he was going to play Shaheen, but I knew that he wasn't going to drop Salman Mirza as well based off previous, matches in which he performed somewhat. Then it came down to who he was going to drop. And out of the top 8, top 9, I felt like Fahim Rana was going to be dropped, only because there were a few matches that he wasn't able to bat. And even throughout the tournament, he only bowled 2 overs.
Yeah.
So I just inferred that the swap would be Shaheen for Rana. I didn't think they were going to add Nafi, but I did think they were going to add Fakhar Zaman, which they did in lieu of Nafi. Super 8 match, you want experience, you put him in there. And I thought he did well. In regards to Abrar, I know that's going to be a hot topic. I just felt like he was going to go with Usman Tariq as the ace spinner, and then he's very big on all-rounders, so he was going to stick with Shadab Nawaz, roll a few overs to assign, maybe Agha, and then you get 2 full-time pacers, Salman and Shaheen for each, so I didn't know if he was going to fit Abrar in there, which he didn't end up doing.
Yeah, so I think two pacers was definitely the way to go. As you saw when England came to bowl, there was some movement. When Archer was bowling, some swing, some movement off the pitch. Overton that caused Pakistani some trouble. Let's dive into the Pakistan's innings and the start that Pakistan had. So Pakistan bat first. Openers are Sahibzada Farhan, your leading scorer of the tournament, and Vase. I remember you saying that you didn't think he was going to score runs in the Super Eight. So
No, I didn't.
Farhan has kind of proved you wrong there, and he's been Pakistan's leading scorer. If we didn't have Sahibzada Farhan, I don't know if we'd make 100 runs in any of the games so far throughout the tournament. He scored, I think, before that game, they put up a stat that he was responsible for almost 35% of Pakistan's runs single handedly. So, Sahibzada Farhan and Saim Ayub open up against Jafra Archer. And what does Jafra Archer do really well? He hits the good length, the back of the length, moving the ball away. He's able to get the ball moving off the seam and trouble the Pakistani batsmen. They're unsure. Saim Ayub has looked uncomfortable all T20 World Cup. What did we talk about in the last podcast, Vase? His release shot is that no look shot across the line, and what did he end up doing again? He goes for that no look across the line shot, which the ball wasn't there to hit on the leg side. It was a ball that was angling away from him on the offside. So ball goes up, he gets caught. So Pakistan lose an early wicket against England, and then our captain comes in, Salman Ali Aga, and Vase. The thing is that uh, I've watched a lot of Salman Ali Aga, and he's been batting. I feel like the batting hasn't been horrible. It's the shot selection and the mindset that he's been batting with.
Zaid, that's all one thing, right? So that comes down. I mean, that is a part of him batting, and unfortunately, he's let everybody down. I understand that the intent is there, but as I said before the World Cup, Zaid, situational awareness, especially if you're captain. And I feel like all of his dismissals in the World Cup have been cheap dismissals, you know? Comes in, looks good, and then within 4 or 5 balls, he plays a shot that he's not supposed to. So I feel like the situational awareness is lacking, and maybe it is because he is a captain. Trust me, you know, I think we've seen it throughout history, where when you're a captain, just the workload, the pressure is so immense that sometimes it does affect your personal performance.
Yeah, the expectations. Like you said, you brought a great point up, and I was going to bring this up. Cheap dismissals. He's not getting bowled. He's not getting beat by the bowlers. If anything, he's playing bad shots in the power play where there's only one fielder out there, and he's trying to hit the ball where there's one fielder. It's happened almost 3 times. Once against the U.S. Game where he hit the ball straight to the fielder. Then there may be a game where he had a good start and then tries to go over the fielder in the 30-yard circle over mid off, hits it straight to the fielder. The U.S. game, same thing. I think the India game was an ugly dismissal where he would played a shot that was across the line.
It's the
But
line, yeah, it wasn't there.
even against England today, so he hits a four against Liam Dawson, and then he tries to force a shot over cover, and it's not there. So he needs to realize that every ball can't go for 4 or 6. He can take a single or two. Like, you hit a boundary, you can take a single. But I think that aggression and that mindset has been like he's trying to show or lead from the front that, oh, I'm gonna play attacking no matter what, and I think it's backfiring on him a little bit. I've been one of his biggest fans, but definitely disappointed. I thought he was gonna come through for us in a big
Yeah,
game.
same, honestly.
Salman Ali Aga goes cheaply. So Saibzada Farhan and Babar Azam come to the crease, and they have a pretty timid power play. I think Pakistan scores. They go around like 6 or 7. Yeah,
Yeah.
7. Some in the power play. 46 for 2. With Saibzada Farhan batting slow. And then Babar Azam had a good start. He hits Jafra Archer for 2 fours. He hits him with a little front foot pull through mid wicket, and then a nice little cut between backward point and third man. So he starts looking good, and you guys are like, okay, these two have to stick around. But then come the spinners, Adil Rashid, Liam Dawson, and that's when you see Pakistan's weakness. And I'm talking
You
about all the
said,
batsmen.
yeah, no, for
If
sure.
you compare to England's innings, what did England do so well? They didn't just hit the boundaries against the spinners, they hit the ball in the gaps and they ran
So
really
those
hard.
doubles. Mhm.
The doubles killed us. Harry Brook, Sam Curran, Will Jacks, they're all running doubles, which killed Pakistan at the end of the day. So Vase, what went wrong with in that middle phase? I think 7 through 14 was the phase that Pakistan went into a shell. They were unable to rotate strike and unable to hit boundaries. So what went wrong against the spin attack?
I think the problem was you're right. They weren't taking singles doubles. If you look at that phase as well, Bobber came in the power play. Overall, he was 25 off 24. In the moment, Zayd, honestly, I thought he did okay based off the two early wickets. But in hindsight, now when I look back, I'm like, playing 24 balls with 25 runs on a pitch where we're probably 15, 20 runs short. I felt like, again, it comes down to situational awareness. Now, with these players, I'm pretty sure they know because they've been playing cricket for a long time. I'm not sure if it's from the higher ups, from the head coach. Maybe Hessen had told Bob before he came on, keep your wicket, just rotate strike, give the strike to Farhan. But the problem was that Farhan wasn't hitting during that phase either. I mean, he at one point Farhan was 36 off 31, and Bobber was 25 off 24. So that's just not going to get the job done. If one person is trying to rotate strike, taking singles, the other person has to hit. If they're both not doing that, then that's an extremely big problem, which we saw with the subpar score. That
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had.
The issue was that Saibzada Farhan wasn't able to hit Adil Rashid, and then Babar Azam wasn't able to hit Adil Rashid either. So the spinners kind of just put that attack, put the tightened the grip on the Pakistani batsmen, and then this the lack of doubles and trying to put pressure on the fielders. That was really the downfall of Babar Azam. It seems like he doesn't have a release shot against the spinners. Like a lot of the batsmen spin, a lot of the batsmen sweep, a lot of the batsmen use their feet.
He still
It's
hasn't
just
learned a
not
sweep
there.
shot yet. No, it's not there. He can't play spin. And the other thing is, I think it's a mental thing too, because there were a few deliveries Adil Rashid bowled, which could have went for four,
Oh,
and
100%.
there was an
Pakistanis are
handful.
the yeah, they're the one batsmen that like the batters they let the opponents get away with half trackers with loose deliveries. And what do the other batsmen do when our bowlers bowl the wrong line or length? They hit it for six. They hit it out of the ground. There was a
Yeah.
couple deliveries that were short down the leg side that Pakistan just weren't able to put away. And you got to put away the bad deliveries against the good teams. So Babar Azam goes for 25 off 24. So he's gotten bowled twice in the last couple
Oh, to spin as
games.
well. No, no, no.
No, he got bowled
I'm
to
sorry. I'm
pace.
sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, he,
Overton.
he got bowled the pace. Yeah, oh, yeah. Overton bowled him. And again, I don't know what shot he was playing or what was going through his mind. I thought that was also a cheap dismissal, to be honest, because he played the wrong shot. Um, but I mean, in hindsight, I'm glad he got out, unless he was able to accelerate, which we'll never know. And then came in number 5, Fucker Zaman. He ended up 25 off 16, I reckon, strike rate of like 155.
Yeah, Fucker Zaman, he
He
played
played
well.
well.
He did his role. He hit a couple sixes, but I'm always disappointed with Fucker Zaman is because he has so much talent, and I feel like he could have done if he stuck, which he did. He got going a little bit. If he was able to take that 25 to 40, 50, I think Pakistan would have been in a great position. And he hit a couple big shots, but there was a no ball, a free hit against Adil Rashid that he ended up missing out
Completely
on,
missed.
completely missed. And then he got dismissed by Adil Rashid because he knows, like Pakistani batsmen know that Adil Rashid against the lefties is going to bowl the googlies. Why are you hoiking it across the line? You can go with the spin, hit him over cover, or hit him down the ground. It's just poor shot selection. Then Fucker Zaman gets out. In comes Shadab Khan, right?
Was it Shadab or Osman?
I think Shadab Khan
Shadab?
came in,
Okay.
yeah, first over Osman Khan, and then so Shadab Khan has a little cameo. Osman Khan comes in, No, so Saibzada Farhan he's playing. He scores around 60 odd, and then again, right when he looks like he's about to explode, he kind of
He
throws
needs to
away his
convert
wicket.
those in because he played 44 balls, scored 63 runs. So at one point, he was 36 off 31. And now I understand your guys' point of view of like from all these years. Now that it's not my guy who's doing this, but it's like if you're playing that many balls, you have to accelerate a bit more, you know? I think 63 off 44, that strike rate 140 something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
It's like around there, right? But, I don't know. I feel like he played too many balls and he plays too many dot balls. I think that's the problem, right? If we can convert those dot balls into singles in, that 63 off 44 easily becomes maybe a 72 to 75 off of 44, you know?
yeah. So the thing about with Farhan is he was rolling, and then in that over he hits a 6, he hits a 4, and then ends up getting out. It's like you don't need to take that risk when you already got 10 runs off that over. Take a single, let the other guy kind of get going and take a risk
Situational
there.
awareness.
Yeah,
Situational
situational
awareness,
awareness.
bro. Come on, you already got 10 off the over, take a few singles, you're getting 13, 14, just keep the momentum rolling. But, dude, these guys just get too horny, to be honest.
So Sabzala Farhan gets out. Usman Khan comes in and he looks good. He hits a big 6, and then same thing, 1-6, and then I think the ball was there to hit again, and he just kind of miscues it, hits it straight to the fielder. The 6 hitting besides Sabzala Farhan and Shadab Khan hasn't just been there for Pakistani batsmen. So Pakistan end up having a mini collapse there. Usman Khan gets out, Nawaz gets out first ball. Liam Dawson in the death overs killed Pakistan. Literally
Zid,
picked
can
up.
we talk about Mohammad Nawaz? Let's just have a little 30-second moment discussion on this guy.
Man,
When's the last time he performed with the bat? Because he's coming in as an all rounder, right?
yeah,
So Mohammad Nawaz stats in T20I World Cups: innings 9, runs
Mhm.
83, average 9.2, strike rate 89.
yeah, he's
Is that
been.
gonna get the job done?
So
It's
I feel
not.
like in bilaterals he has an innings or two every now and once where he plays a good innings, like a good cameo, but you cannot rely with him. He struggles against spin, he struggles against pace, and like first ball up against Liam Dawson getting out on a golden duck like that is just ridiculous, dude. Like when Pakistan seems like they were about to launch and Shadab was playing well, uh, he throws away his wicket, and then
It's simple. Rotate the strike.
yeah, let the guy who's
Yeah.
playing well, he plays an
Yeah.
ugly sweep shot, like a half sweep shot, and gets LBW, then takes a review. It's like, what are you doing? So
Bro, and the
Pakistan has like
worst
a.
part is he gets. I'm sorry to keep going back to Navas, but he looks shocked that he got out. Like he looks shocked when he plays these rash shots. No brain at all, and then he acts like he's the victim. It's like,
Yeah.
buddy, we're the victims, not you.
So a left-handed batsman against a left arm spinner is supposed to have an advantage because the ball's spinning into you. You can take advantage with that. So and he doesn't do anything. He just throws away his wicket. So man, Nawaz has been extremely frustrating with the bat, the ball. Fielding in this tournament has been subpar from him. So just very disappointed with him. So it starts a mini collapse. So Pakistan seemed like they were on for 175 or 180 with Shadab going. And then in the last couple of overs, Jofra Archer has a really good second last over. Shaheen and Shadab, they kind of struggle against pace. And then they're able to get two boundaries, I think, in the last over. Shadab's able to get two boundaries in the last over, and Pakistan struggle to get to 164. Just throughout the entire innings, there was just no flow where Pakistan seemed to take the game away from England. Props
And
to their bowlers.
man, one more thing is that we didn't even deserve that 164. If you recall England's mishaps in the field, we honestly scored 150. We
Probably
were gifted.
140.
Yeah, once we were gifted so many runs with the mishaps in the field. But I do want to give a shout out to Shadab Khan. I know he's been catching a lot of heat, but at least he's good with the bat for his position. And I've been saying this for a while now. He came in 23 off 11, strike rate of above 200, and the reason we were able to reach that 164 was because of him. And this is not the first time that he's done this. So, I do want to give him props for that.
No, Shadab has been good with the bat in big moments. I think, if anything, I feel like his batting is way better than his bowling. He should probably
Facts.
focus more on his batting
Facts.
and kind of go away from bowling at that point. Maybe just kind of specialize into a power hitter at 5 or 6, like a Asif Ali type,
Yeah.
and just go away with the bowling. You remember Steve Smith started off as a bowler, and then he kind of threw that all in the garbage because he knew he wasn't good at bowling and thought that batting was his strong set. So maybe Shadab needs to go back to the drawing board, give up bowling, become a specialist batsman at 5 or 6, especially in the T20 format, because the bowling doesn't seem like it's there, and the batting seems like it's kind of gotten farther ahead than his bowling
Yep.
skills. To play devil's advocate, I don't think he bowled too bad in the last game, but
Same.
so Pakistan scrapped to 164, and we're like, okay, this is defendable. 164, I thought, was a total that's defendable if you bowl and field well. And Shaheen comes back, and with how the ball was moving around in the first innings with the Pacers, I was like, okay, I'm glad they played 2 Pacers because we're going to need Shaheen and Salman Mirza to get some wickets up front. And what happens first over? Shaheen is hitting the back of the length. The ball's moving around a little bit. He gets Phil Salt to play a false shot, caught behind. And I'm pumped up. I'm like, let's go. Shaheen is back. The first over demon is back.
And Zayed, can I add one thing? Is that he was hitting the right length, not too full, and he was making the ball swing out. Usually
Yeah.
he's known for the in swing, he's making the ball swing out. So I think he did his homework. He came in with the game plan and a strategy. And shout out to Shaheen Shafidi. His father-in-law went on a news channel saying that he would not,
Yeah.
put him in the playing 11 for the next match. I think that really got to him fired up. Shahid Afridi's daughter actually reached out to him and said, "Why the hell would you say that?" And Shahid Afridi said that, "I know my son-in-law. He's going to be fired up and he's going to perform," and that's exactly what he did.
He did. And all props to Shaheen Afridi. I know he's been very subpar, but in big games, it feels like he always tends to come through. So Shaheen had a great opening spell. He gets Salt, and then he gets Butler an over later. I think in his third over, he gets Butler as well. So he does his job. He gets Salt, he gets Butler, and then he comes back for his third over in his spell, and he gets Jacob Bethel as well. Saibzada takes a good catch after. Yeah. Saibzada takes a good catch after Usman Tariq dropped a sitter on Saim Ayub's bowling. So one thing I didn't like, Vase, is when the ball was moving around, why did Aga go to spinners early? I understand that he went to Saim because Jacob Bethel was there, a lefty, but Saim Ayub didn't seem like he was in control. It was, I think, his worst bowling performance that he's had in a long time. He was trying to bowl that carom ball, and he was drifting onto the pads, onto the leg side. The lining length wasn't there, and he was going for. He went for his first over. He went for 11. His second over, he went for 10. So it just didn't seem like Saim Ayub was locked in bowling wise.
I think aside from Simon the power play, because we've seen that, I thought a big blunder was giving Muhammad Nawaz that last over of the power play. That went for 17, I reckon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about. Why did he give Muhammad Nawaz the last over in the power play? You had to use that over to like tighten the grip on the England batsman,
Bring on pace, man. Yeah.
and Salman Mirza wasn't bowling bad. He could have gone
Yeah.
for another over, and he gave Muhammad Nawaz an over. And what did Harry Brook do? He went crazy in that over, 17 runs. So, and that kind of released all of England's pressure. And from that point on, Harry Brook didn't look back. When he hit that 6 off the back foot straight down the ground to Nawaz, I knew Pakistan was in trouble. So Harry Brook, just to bring this up, against Pakistan, besides this innings, had a 60 average in 10 T20 innings against Pakistan. So he's been Pakistan's nemesis, and we didn't have a plan against Harry Brook. And what did he do? He promotes himself to number 3. He was batting at 5 the entire tournament. So props to him. He played a very it was a masterclass, I think, from Harry Brook. It was a chanceless innings, and he really didn't falter at all against any of the Pakistan's bowling.
Shout out
What are your
Lahore
thoughts?
Qalandars. Shout out
Oh,
Lahore Qalandars.
yeah, Shaheen gave him a little wave when he got out, a little handshake. So
Yeah.
Nawaz has that one over that goes for 17. Shadab comes in after that. Vase, he has a good over. He bowls a good over. In his first over, he troubles Harry Brook. Actually, he had a inside edge that goes past the stumps, and I'm like, okay, Shadab is bowling well. But again, what does Pakistan do? They bring Osman Tariq early. Osman Tariq gets Tom Banton in his first over, caught behind, and I'm like, okay, we're on again. Like
Game on.
Pakistan, game on. Like we have them. We need 1 or 2 more wickets and game on. Osman Tariq gets that wicket. What does Salman Ali Aga do? He goes back to Saim, and then he doesn't bring in Usman Tariq for another 3 overs after he took a wicket. Like he just took a wicket. Why would you give him a break for 3 overs? You need to
And let me
apply
mention
that
one thing.
pressure.
I'm there with you, and Zaid, those 3 overs went for 36 runs.
Yeah, Shadab ended up going expensive. Saim gave up runs, and then I think the third over was bowled by Nawaz, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Salman Mirza he gave the third over to? I'm not sure. Either one of
Yeah,
those, I don't
I'm not
remember.
sure, Zaid, but one thing I want to mention too is our piss poor fielding. I thought Shadab was bowling well. He was playing with an edge, was playing with momentum. I'm like, yo, this guy might be our match winner today. What does Shaheen Afridi do? Balls hit to Shaheen Afridi. He could make an effort to maybe catch the ball, which is fine. He says, you know what? I'm gonna save the boundary. Sits back on it. Ball goes through his hands, goes for a freaking boundary. It's
Yeah, and
stuff like that which kind of hurts, the
that
ego. It
was
makes
a
sense
good
to
over
go.
from Shadab because I think before that he only gave up 3 or 4 runs off the over.
Yep,
And if
exactly.
you end that over with a single, that's 5 runs off the over. But what happens? So the ball gets hit in the air. You think it's a half chance. Shaheen comes in, but he half hearts it. He doesn't go for the catch, and then he comes too far in to block the ball for the boundary, and the ball bounces high up, goes through his hands. Those are the little things, and then just the lack of Pakistani fielders adjusting on the boundary. They're standing way too far back for twos. Like they gave up so many twos because everyone's on the boundary. Like you gotta maybe move up 5-7 yards from the boundary rope to cut off those twos. And England took advantage of that all night, all night.
And Zid, one more thing I want to mention is I don't even blame Sulman Ali Aga for that because that's not his job, right? If you're a professional cricketer, again, situational awareness. You know that the target score is not too high, the required run is not too high. Come up a few yards, right? You're so back next to the boundary line that these literally singles are turning into doubles. And I think that kind of took momentum away from us as well. Just the piss poor effort in fielding.
Yeah, and then the third over from Shadab comes on, and that over is expensive. And then Usman Tariq has an expensive over. I don't blame him. He's bowled great all tournament, but
Yeah, bro, you're gonna
he
have one of
looked
those overs.
he looked off in that over, and that over started off badly because there was an overthrow when the ball was swept to find leg, and there was an overthrow that caused a double for Harry Brook to get back on strike, I believe.
Yep.
And that because of that misfield, I think his confidence was shot, and he started bowling some deliveries that were short down the leg side. The small things, honestly, that kind of led up to it. But at the end of the day, Harry Brook plays a masterclass innings, and Pakistan seemed like they're 15 to 20 runs short. Uh, After Harry Brook gets yorked out by Shaheen Shah Afridi, there's a little mini collapse where we think we have a little chance where England needs 6 runs and Mohammad Nawaz gets 2 wickets. He gets Will Jacks bowled, and then Overton gets stumped after playing 3 dot balls. So England are 8 down now, and 3 runs are required. And then one crucial thing happens in that over as well. Hindsight is hindsight, right? But on the last ball of that over, Mohammad Nawaz bowls a delivery. Archer hits it down the ground. Nawaz can try to get to it. Liam Dawson kind of gets in the way, which I think he did on purpose.
Yeah, then it goes for
And Nawaz is not able to block that ball, and it goes for a single, and the rest is history. Salman Mirza of the next over, first ball, what does he do? Man, what happened to our bowlers bowling Yorkers like Omar Gul, Muhammad Amir?
I don't think
Back
they
in the
can.
day, Wahab Riaz, these guys would bowl Yorkers at will. Now it seems like Yorkers are not being taught for Pakistani bowlers. It's like bowl anything but Yorkers. Because I guess it's a hard delivery to execute, because if you go through full, you can bowl a full toss. Others,
Yeah,
it's in
it
the
makes sense.
slot. But Salman Mirza bowls a regular delivery, half tracker, and Archer literally hits the easiest shot of his life. Either you go full outside off stump, go for a cutter. That ball was a nothing ball. I don't blame him. Again, that game was probably not winnable, but I thought for a second there was a Pakistan miracle waiting to happen there.
Zed, I don't know if you recall the bilateral between Pakistan and England. I reckon it happened in Karachi, 2022 maybe.
Yeah, the run
It
out.
was similar situation, yeah. And then Haris Rofe came into
Haris
that track.
Rofe. Yeah.
England at one point needed like 5 runs off 10 balls and had 8 wickets down. Similar situation.
Yeah.
So my question is here, and I know hindsight's always 2020, but for that final over, do you go to Salman Mirza or would you prefer spin maybe a Shadab Khan for that final over?
Definitely not Shadab. I think they could have gone with Saim Ayub, maybe. But Saim wasn't bowling well, I felt like. And I thought you could go with the pacer. Why not? Try to go for the Yorker length against Archer. I feel like at the end of the day, it's easier to hit a spinner than it is a fast bowler. Because you could hit it, you could just swing wildly and hit one in the air, and it can go over the keeper's head for a 4. I don't know. I thought Salman Mirza was a better choice, but we've seen him bowl Yorkers in the past, but he just didn't go with that ball. But the game was already over at that point. It was a miracle waiting to happen, which didn't happen. So Pakistan loses by 2 wickets. England win by 2 wickets at the end, and then we're like, okay, it's a waiting game. We're all in the group chat. We're like, how can Pakistan qualify now, right? So we're like, okay, Sri Lanka needs to beat New Zealand. And I turn on that game this morning, and New Zealand is struggling, 88 for 6. And their captain comes in, Mitchell Santner, and this new guy on debut that I've never even heard of, McConchy. And they build a huge partnership and take New Zealand to 168 from 88 for 6. And Sri Lanka is never in control of the innings. They lose a wicket on the first ball of the innings. Matt Henry goes crazy. Rachin Ravindra takes 4, and they lose by like 80 runs or like 60,
Yeah, I think it
67,
was like, yeah.
70 runs almost. And New Zealand's run rate goes crazy. And that kind of put the nail in the coffin for Pakistan semi chances. So what's next, Vase? What's next for Pakistan? Where do we go from here?
Zid, before the tournament started, even mid-tournament, I said Mike Hessen needed a statue outside Gaddafi, and I still believe he does. I think that he's done an okay job, Zid. I mean, at least for coming with, some sort of game plan. You see some fight with the boys. And I hate saying it's a skill issue because essentially the national sport of Pakistan, I know it's field hockey, but it is cricket. You have, a population of 240 million. You've produced some all-time greats. But I think the politics aspect sometimes does play a role. I was a fan of the senior players coming in for experience, especially in a big tournament like the World Cup. But I didn't understand the likes of Fakhar Zaman, a senior player. This is most likely his last T20 World Cup. I thought, now looking back in hindsight, 2020, he probably should have played in more of the group stage matches games, stage games as well. You have the likes of Naseem Shah, who hasn't played one single game. Zed,
Yeah,
um,
I think that's inexcusable. A guy like Naseem Shah, I know his form wasn't great. I know he's had some fitness issues, but he's a big game player, and England has tend to struggle against Naseem Shah. So imagine if you had Shaheen bowling from one end in that power play and Naseem Shah going at the other end as well. Maybe we could have gotten Harry Brook out as well
and you
with
get
that
that left
pressure.
right combo going both ways, whereas
Exactly.
Salman versus Zayn both left arm pace.
Salman Mirza's
Yeah.
good, but Naseem
Yeah,
Shah is his upside, his skill is I feel like is superior than Salman Mirza.
and especially with the match in hand too, if you do know you're playing Shaheen, I don't know if there's any other reason to play one more left arm pace when you do have a Naseem Shah who's on the bench. Zayd, I have a question for you. Opener Saimayub. I have some stats for him that I'd like to go through, and again, I mean, this guy's probably gotten the most chances out of any player in recent history, to be honest. When it does come to
Yes.
T20,
So I'm a U. I saw a stat. He's played almost 67 T20s already. That's
bro,
crazy.
that's insane. And then let me just go back to the last two major tournaments. I don't want to go back to 2024
Mhm.
because that World Cup we didn't play much. But dating back to the ICC tournaments, Asia Cup 2025 and the current World Cup, Saim has averaged 9
9, yeah.
with a strike rate of 110.
Yeah, see the thing is with Syme is I understand how good his bowling has been, but you have to bat, especially if you're
Yeah.
opening, you have to bat, right? And if you're not batting in the big games, I think he's had a mental block right now in his batting. Like I said, I mentioned in podcast previously, he's not playing to the merit of the ball. You cannot take everything and hit it towards the leg side. You have to play the ball where it is, right? If the ball is being pitched outside off stump, play a shot on the offside, try to hit down the ground. That no look shot that he's been trying to play has been his demise. We saw again in that game yesterday where he played that no look shot and it's not happening. And I do think that as valuable as he has been with the ball, how much leeway is he going to get? I think he's been the cricketer that has been given the most leeway out of any Pakistani recently. In terms of openers, Pakistan changes openers very frequently, and they stuck with Saim Ayub. So he has to pay that back, or I think there's guys that are waiting. I'm a huge Abdullah Shafiq guy.
Abdullah Shafiq, yeah, for sure.
Watch the PSL, the lower Qalandars. I think he has all the shots. He has potential. Why not throw him in the mix and see for the next bilateral series if he can stick and give him a chance. He's an opener, so I know for lower Qalandars he bats at 3 sometimes, but if Pakistan needs some assurity at the top of the order, I think he's a great complement to Saibzada Farhan. The only benefit with Saim Ayub is you're getting that left hand right hand combo, but
Yeah, that's right.
if Saim Ayub is not sticking around, then
I mean, if he's scoring 9 with a strike rate of 110, at that point, I don't care if the guy is left-handed, right-handed, he hits with his fork, we need somebody out. Um,
yeah. And in terms of his bowling, right? People are saying, "Oh, he's such a good bowler." I mean, now we have Usman Tariq, we have Abrar Ahmed, we have
yeah,
those kind of spinners. I mean, we can't play him as a specialist spinner. And Vase took. I want to kind of go on that and build off that. The all rounders thing has just been pissing me off. Like, I understand Hessen loves all rounders, but it's just not working out. You gotta stop playing these all rounders. Nawaz hasn't panned out in 5 games in this World Cup. Shadab
he
as an
hasn't
all
panned out
rounder
in 5
hasn't
years.
panned out. Shadab as an all rounder hasn't panned out. He's batted great, yes. If you take away that Namibia game, hasn't he hasn't done much with the ball. So play specialist batsmen. Maybe I we have guys that could have played
Like
Nafe,
who?
Fakr Zaman, Nafe, Fakr Zaman. In terms of the bench, I mean, those are the only two batsmen we had. Yeah, in hindsight, maybe Hassan Nawaz would have been a good shout to bring in the squad. If you didn't want to play Nafe for lack of experience, maybe Hassan Nawaz because he's strong against the spinners. And then, if you want to add anything on the all rounders, right?
Yeah, so I mean, as we all know, Hessen's huge on them, and unfortunately, I think he's trying to replicate the Islamabad United success and translate it into ICC, World Cups, which I think is a recipe for disaster. And I want to bring up the IU thing as well. So, as you guys know, Hessen is the head coach for Islamabad United. They were able to win the PSL in 2024, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
2025 went to Lahore Qalandars. Now, the reason I bring that up is because there's a handful of United players in the squad. Saibzada Farhan, Shadab Khan is the captain, Salman Aliaga, Mohammad
Yeah.
Nawaz was there, and Fahim Rana Ashraf. So those are five players. I know now they're not all with United after what happened a few weeks ago, but I feel like he wanted to translate that PSO success into this ICC World Cup and even the Asia Cup in 2025, which didn't work out. And I think he learned his lesson. And Zayd, I think now all those senior players, I think this was their last chance. There's a handful of players who have played 4 World Cups now for T20.
Yeah,
Babar,
Shaheen,
Farhan,
Babar,
Nawaz, Shaheen, yeah.
Shadab, Nawaz. Yeah, these guys have played 4 World Cups.
So at
And
this
Vasek.
point, yeah, I'm
No, no,
sorry,
go
go
ahead.
on.
Go ahead. No, no, go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, no. I mean, at this point, I want to, give all four a salute. May have not performed the best in those 4 World Cups. I want to thank you for your service. Um, but I mean, I'm hoping that for all four of them, it was their last World Cup, to be honest, and I think it is treading towards that direction. So I do want to thank all of them. Maybe we didn't get the big match performances from honestly all of them aside from Shaheen. But you played 4 World Cups. You had all your chances. We had
I
some good times. We had some bad times. But
I
you know,
think
goodbye.
Babar for sure. It's his last T20 World Cup. I don't see him making it to 2028. Fakhr Zaman, I think he's done.
Oh, that's right.
Shaheen, Shaheen, I don't think he's done. Shadab, I don't think they're gonna get rid of either.
I
I
don't
think
think
he's
so
gonna
either.
still
I
stick
think we,
around.
yeah,
Nawaz definitely needs to go.
he's out.
We got some better options than Nawaz. Maz Sadakat, we have Arafat Minhaz, Mehran Mumtaz. There's so many better bowling all rounder options than Nawaz in Pakistan right now. Um, the likes of Shahid Aziz, Ahmad
Hey, shout out Shahid
Daniel.
Aziz there. That's my guy. This guy's gonna be
Yeah,
special.
you've been on him. We have a lot of the young guys that are waiting on the ranks, and in 2028, I don't know if Aga makes it there either. I don't know if Aga makes it past this tournament as captain. Maybe they do, but the thing is that Aga's captaincy wasn't great this tournament. I'm gonna say that I've been his biggest fan. Bowling changes were bad. I think field placements weren't great, but Salman Ali Aga was brought in as a yes man to Mohsin Naqvi, and he's doing everything that has been told to him to do. And Mike Hessen has been given so much
Free
power
reign.
as coach. I think he's been given the free reign. It's like Salman Ali Aga is the captain, but Mike Hessen is making the decisions behind the playing 11. He's making the decisions on the game plan. He's making the decisions on the batting order, who goes next, who's bowling the next over. I think he's bringing in signals each over on who to go to. And they have like a set game plan that Aga isn't going away from. It's because I don't think he has the power to. They've given Mike Hessen free reign on white ball cricket. Do what you want. This is your team. And I think that's backfired. You can't have a coach do it all, right? He can have its strategy, but the captain has to make decisions on the field as the game is changing and how the dynamics of the game are playing out, right? In some situations, the captain has to take a risky call. He can't just rely on the coach's game plan.
And I'm there with you. The other thing, say is when you're captain, you're on the field, right? It's a lot different when you're watching. I think that's an important factor to to also harp on. One thing I want to add is you hit on the dot that Aga came in as a yes man because there was a lot of questions on whether or not he's even a T20 player. Um, and it was a bit shocking that he was T20 captain rather than ODI, which I admire him for. ODI test format, I think he's epic. T20, he did show, obviously that he could bat. Australia series, he played well in the Tri series in Sri Lanka as well, at a 45 off 12. But yeah, I do believe that Hessen ultimately wanted Shadab Khan to be captain, but Shadab Khan was hurt. So they
Hmm.
went to the next guy, who was Salman Aliaga. Again, both Islamabad United guys. And there's some rumblings going on. And I came up with this theory back in October saying once Shadab Khan gets fit, he's going to take the reins of becoming captain. The only thing hurting him now is the news discourse on him that he shouldn't even be playing in the playing 11. Now I think there's some immense pressure on the PCB because I think the game plan was to appoint Shadab as captain after this World Cup. But I think that's looming in the air, and there are some reports per Shoaib Malik that that might be the case, which I think it was 100% gonna be the case, but based off his performance with the ball, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of pushback in regard to that. So I feel like they're a bit
Yeah,
confused
I
on the
don't
backfield
know.
what to do.
I can't see Shadab being the captain after this World Cup, just in terms of his performance with the ball. With the bat, he's been impressive, like I said. But what's next for Pakistan if they remove Aga, which I don't think they will? I think they will give him a couple more months, maybe a couple more bilaterals. But I do think there needs to be revolution in the team. No Nawaz, no Fakhr Zaman, no Babar Azam. Bring in the young boys and get some more firepower in that team. I think we're lacking that. But if not Aga and Shadab, who? The only option I see is Shaheen taking over both white ball captaincies. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend that, and I don't know who else in that T20 team that even has a secure spot to take over the captaincy.
So my thing is, Sid, with Salman Aliaga too, right? If he wasn't captain, I don't think he would even be playing in the playing 11. Just based off the sheer facts of his performance in the Asia Cup and the World Cup. Because when he came in, we look at Salman Aliaga as the all-rounder where he can bowl too, and I think he bowls exceptionally well.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately for
think
some,
he's underutilized himself as a bowler just
as a
because there's
bowler,
so many spinning
spinning
all
options.
rounders. So he was underutilized. I think I think he's just he doesn't want to be that captain that's bowling, that's batting at three. People say like, oh, there's so many other spinners that are better than him. Why is he bowling? But his stats weren't good. Yeah, I agree. But I think that was a little. That's his demise. I think has been trying to be too selfless and sacrificing at times and too aggressive.
So I used to think that's it, but I think he became selfish when he promoted himself one down. I feel like he kind of knew he had no spot on the team otherwise. Because if he's not doing anything with the ball, he's not bowling any overs. But because in the Asia
No,
Cup there
but
was eight. Yeah, sorry,
if
go
he's
on.
batting at 4 or 5, he's still a better batsman than Babar Azam at 4 or 5. He can still sweep, he can still use his feet and clear the boundary, which Babar can't do.
Like, I'm gonna go off stats alone, okay? So in the Asia Cup and World Cup combined, average of 12 with a strike rate of 100. Now let's talk about him being one down in the World Cup, okay? Minus that game against Namibia, I can't even pronounce that country. He scored 22 runs in 5 innings, by. This is your one
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
So he's been piss poor with the bat. He can have all the
He's been
shots, but
piss poor.
he just
He's been
can't
piss
perform.
poor, but just out of eye test alone, Salman Aliaga in terms of T20s is better than Babar Azam on the sheer fact that he has more shots that he can play against spin and in the middle overs. He has more six hitting ability, in my
I,
opinion.
I don't agree with that. Based off the fact, Zayd, is that even if he has a shot making ability, he's not making those shots. He'll probably hit one shot, then he's out. So if you have an
You're saying that Pakistan made a mistake by making Balber bat at 4 instead of 3, and then they still
no,
would
I'm
stand
saying
a better
kick him off the
chance.
team. I'm saying kick him off the team, right? Okay, let's forget about him. Let's talk about strictly like Salman Aliaga. Even if you don't have Bob Roddenberry, if he's 4 or 5 on the bench, do not bat. Don't matter the equation. Aga had one down. I mean, he had a good series against Australia. No, he had one good game against Australia. He had a 76 off 40 in that final game. And then he had that 45 off 12 in Sri Lanka early January. I think that messed with his head. Not messed with his head, but I feel like he probably thought that, okay, I could play one down. I mean, clearly it didn't work out in his favor. Again, hindsight's 2020. Now maybe would you open with like Farhan and Fucker one down sign one down Usman Khan. It's just hindsight's 2020, but I feel like this is
I think
his
hindsight
last
is
season.
2020. I think Pakistan needs to go back to the drawing board in terms of T20s after this World Cup. Bring in some. Let's see when the PSL happens. Who are the top performers? And there's talent in PSL. Like I said, Abdullah Shafiq, other guys, Hassan Nawaz maybe has a good shout to be in the team. So let's go out with the old, in with the new. I think the middle order needs a whole revamp. I think Saim Ayub could uh, benefit from spending some time on the bench. So let's see what happens, Vase. And we have a game against Sri Lanka, and let's see what happens there.
So just one last comment. In regards to the PSL, we always say this is going to be like the biggest and best year for PSL. But genuinely speaking, I think this will revamp our national team too, because there's a lot of obviously Pakistani players. It's our league in the PSL, and we've attracted a lot of international talent. So I
We
think this
have.
is the year where they're going to enhance their skills, right? We've seen it in India too, where India has an A team, B team, C team with the T20, and they're all very great players that could start in any other playing 11 for any other country for the most part, right? So I feel like this year will be a game changer, not only for the PSL, but for the national team as well. And I do know we say the future is bright, and it is, but I do want to iterate the Shaheens had a series against England A, unfortunately got whitewashed 0-3. Were some bright spots. I thought Shahid Aziz was, I think he's a great all rounder, striking at a rate of 200, coming in at like 6-7, and then bowled well too. Few bright spots. Hopefully now, I'm saying this again, senior players can, head out the door. I'm totally fine with that. Thank you for your services, but let's
Yeah.
literally now let's bring in the new.
So Vase, the goal should be now is to prep for the 2028 World Cup, right? Start right after this World Cup, and go from there and see how you can build a team over the span of 2 years. Pick a captain, make whoever you want captain, make Babur, make Rizwan. I don't care. Make a winning team, a winning combination with guys who are hungry to play. I feel like some of these guys are towards the end of their career now. They're not as hungry as they used to be. There's a lot of the young guys that want to play, So let's find that combination. Like you said, Pakistan, India's had crazy depth because of the IPL. When some of these bilaterals happen, test your bench strength right now. But what's Pakistan's biggest issue? They have no bench. You
None.
have no guys that have proven game time. Like Nafe, he got 3 games. How do you expect him to perform that well in 3 games? When the so-called C teams, D teams tour, put in your bench guys and see what they can do. But I think that's all I have for this podcast. We've been going back and forth, and uh, it's been a heartbreaking couple of days for me at least, with the India loss, the New Zealand whitewash, and then
So the India loss was
I,
probably the highlight of the World Cup.
yeah, but you know, I really had hopes for Pakistan to win that England game, but it didn't happen. It's not meant to happen, and you never know. Vase Kudrat ka nizam, somehow, some way, if England beats New Zealand with a heavy margin and Pakistan somehow blows Sri Lanka out of the water, will
Which
we
could
end up
happen.
in that semifinal?
Yeah, inshallah. One last thing I want to mention to our viewers and you, Zaid, as well, is that it's extremely hard to win an ICC event. We've seen teams go very long periods of time. With that one, it's akin to winning an NBA championship, right? Your team can't win every year, and these events, come T20 World Cups happen every 2 years. So I mean, hold your head up high. It's fine, go through the waves. Don't abuse the players. I think a lot of the ex cricketers and even fans just score. But it's okay. It's a part of the game. It happens, and we hope that one day we can
Yeah,
compete at a high
that's the
level.
thing. What I don't like is the former players getting on air and just going crazy on our players. Yeah,
It's a
some
tamasha,
guys don't
bro.
deserve to be on the team, but you shouldn't trash them how you are trashing them. Um, at the end of the day, they're playing for Pakistan. That's our team. We got to support them, back the boys. If not this year, we always got the 2027 ODI World Cup. We got the
I'm
28
excited for
T20
that,
World
Zed.
Cup.
But honestly, all eyes should be set on that, though. As soon as this campaign ends, 2027 ODI World Cup, inshallah, we can
Let's do
perform.
it. I mean, Vase, we got the rest of the we got one more game left against Sri Lanka on Saturday morning. We're definitely gonna have an episode with that, and then cover the rest of the T20 World Cup. Let's see. Maybe India loses to Zimbabwe tomorrow morning.
Honestly, Zaid, I see an
Fingers
upset
crossed, baby.
brewing.
Fingers crossed, baby.
Inshallah. I'm thinking they might. Sorry, last comment. Based off the sheer fact that India really needs to pay attention to their net run rate now, so they might, come, guns blazing. Guns blazing can lead to some cheap dismissals. So let's see.
Let's see, guys. And as always, we appreciate the love. We appreciate the support on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We are Stumps for Answers. Thank you, everybody. And as always, Pakistan's in the bot. Peace.